What is up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge. Thanks for being a part of our YouTube channel and subscribing. If you haven't, please do that. Like and comment on the videos as it helps the algorithm as well. But appreciate you taking time to watch this video. The Sooners have landed a portal commitment. Jake Roberts out of Baylor. Previously, before that, out of North Texas, played 3 seasons at North Texas for the Mean Green and played in every game for the Mean Green and averaged 10 yards a reception at Baylor. He's born in Norman, Oklahoma. So obviously this isn't a shock that he ends up back in Norman, Oklahoma. He's 6'5", 250 pounds. I think there's a few reasons, Jay, that this is really good for the Sooners. One, they do need tight end depth. Blake Smith entered the portal. They got Sharp out of the portal. They got Devon Mitchell coming in. Caden Helms is fighting, coming off the injury. I have high expectations for him, but this is a good piece. OU adds someone who's used to Norman, Oklahoma, was born there, played high school football in Norman, and he's also the brother of the 2025 elite tight end, Nate Roberts. So I think this is a good get for OU, Jay.
Yeah, and when you saw Blake Smith enter the portal and Jake Roberts enter the portal, I think a lot of people thought Jake Roberts would end up in Norman just because of where he grew up, kind of the connection with Seth Luttrell. So I think this was kind of just a lot of people thought this would happen. Now, here's the thing. He's 6'5", like you said. Big guy. And I could see really OU running a little more 2 tight end set this next season. And that's where I think it would really come in handy. I mean, let's face facts. Devon Mitchell's an elite talent at tight end. Elite. Granted, he reclassified. He should be a senior in high school this next year. So he's very young. Caden Helms, I think, can be an elite tight end. I think he's got the talent. I think he's got the skill set. My thing is just how he comes off injury. But I think he's a guy, and he's eager to play. He's got to be very eager to get out there on the field. So between Devon Mitchell, Caden Helms, and now Jake Roberts, that gives you three viable options, I think, at tight end. And you have Fanuel still there. And am I missing anybody? I think that might be Cade McIntyre too. And so we'll see. They got depth now. And that's what this really gives them. I think Jake Roberts step up from Blake Smith, in my opinion.
Size-wise and, blocking. Look, we don't exactly know what this offense is going to look like. We know it's going to be the air raid, but are they going to tie any of the previous offense in? That's something to keep an eye on. The other thing is, and I'm not by no means comparing this team to a professional football team, okay? But if you watch football on Sundays, Dallas Cowboys, Kansas City Chiefs, and many others, even college, tight end is not a position where you have 1 or 2 guys and that's all that plays. You can throw guys in there in different sets all the time. You can easily play 4 different tight ends in a game, throughout a game. You can play 2 at a time, like you're saying. So this gives you options, like you said, and very viable options at the tight end position. And look, he had 23 receptions, I think, last year at Baylor, his last season at Baylor. But they did go for 10 yards a pop. So he can get down the field. And I do like the blocking capability he brings with his elite size at 6'5", 250.
Yeah, it is. Big guy that can block, that can run routes, can catch the ball. And like you said, backyard of Norman, Oklahoma. I mean, there's been a few tight ends get out of Norman that didn't go to Oklahoma. George Kittle, one of them. So I'm glad Jake Roberts is going to end up in Norman. Jake the Snake, as I'm going to call him, just like the wrestler. Let's hope he can do those wrestling moves on blocking. But, hey, another thing is you look at this offense going into next year. Like you said, we don't know really what's going to happen. You can't judge everything you saw in the Arizona game that's the way the offense is going to look next year. It's not. Seth Luttrell didn't have enough time to implement everything he wanted to implement, and I think they will use the tight end quite a bit more. I mean, just go back to Lincoln Riley's day. Lincoln Riley is from the air raid tree, Leach. Okay, so is Seth Luttrell from the Leach tree, and there were tight ends that OU used a lot during that. I mean, you go all the way back to Gresham was used a ton. Mark Andrews, yes, those guys are very talented. What I'm saying is I think you're going to see the tight end used way more than you saw last year. I don't think Stogner was used enough. And yes, he wasn't the most athletic tight end. You do have more athleticism in that tight end room with those three than you have with Austin Stogner. When you talk about Caden Helms, Jake Roberts, and Devon Mitchell. I mean, so I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see probably. If I had to guess right now on January 6th, I think the tight end next year, the leading tight end is going to at least have at least double the amount of catches of Stogner, maybe more than that.
Well, I will disagree in one area. I don't think you can take anything from the bowl game because it was Jeff Levy's offense. It wasn't even Seth Luttrell's offense. He was basically calling the game, but it was Jeff Levy's offense. I don't think we saw any of Seth Luttrell's system in that bowl game. To be honest with you, I don't remember seeing anything that was way different than what outside of maybe one or two plays. So set-wise, scheme-wise, it's going to change. And I do agree that the tight end will be more used in this offense. And look, a guy like Sharp, who played a little quarterback in high school, a guy like Jake Roberts, who's really big, 6'5", 250, they can line up in the backfield. They can be a
Sharp.
blocker.
I didn't even mention Sharp earlier. I forgot it. Yeah.
I mean, these are guys that can really give you a variety of plays and skills that they offer. So, and like you said about Devon Mitchell, everyone loves Devon Mitchell. I love Devon Mitchell. Is he going to play day one? I don't know. He's a guy you could also use not playing the whole game. Maybe his blocking isn't like these other guys. We don't know, Jay. That will come through in spring ball as the offense gets implemented. But today is a good day to be a Sooner as Jake Roberts, we could say, comes home to the University of Oklahoma. Not a surprise for anyone, right?
Not a surprise. And I think, who knows? I mean, who knows how with the portal these days, but maybe Jake Roberts saw when Seth Luttrell got promoted to OC, thought, man, I want to go play there with him. I played with him at North Texas, right? I'm going to enter the portal and go to Oklahoma. It might have been that simple for him, right? But yeah, now let me go through the tight ends again because I didn't even mention Sharp earlier. Devon Mitchell, Caden Helms, you got Sharp that transferred in, and you got Jake Roberts that transferred in, and then you got Cade McIntyre, and then Mike Fanuel. I mean, that's not Mike, Josh Fanuel. Sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, it went from a depleted room to a full room, and full rooms are good. And like you said, Jay, Jake Roberts left when Seth Luttrell left. I mean, he got out of North Texas when that happened. So obviously that connection is probably stronger than we're even giving it credit for. So there it is. Jake Roberts is an Oklahoma Sooner coming back home to Norman, Oklahoma. Excited to have him at the University of Oklahoma and see what he can do on the field. Appreciate you watching our videos. Till next time, Boomer.
Sooner.